I have an opinion here, Horwath, that I've been thinking of for the past couple days since our last recording. I want to give you the idea. I want to share it, see what you guys all think out there listening to this podcast. The question I asked myself was, how important is that fourth Stanley Cup? Because we know that's the goal for Crosby, Malkin, and Chris Letang. They're going for that fourth one. It would be the sixth in Pittsburgh Penguins history. But how important is that fourth one for Sidney Crosby and the rest of that aging veteran core that we've been talking about all summer long? I think it would make them the undoubted top team in the 21st century in the National Hockey League. And I think there's a couple other teams that really can make a case for that. The Detroit Red Wings of the 2000s were very good. I mean, so many Hall of Famers, so much talent, so many good seasons. But the last decade has been pretty bad in Detroit. And we finished the last segment saying, yeah, they're on an upward trajectory, but it's been a while since they've been in that postseason. So I think they get eliminated from that pretty quickly. But I think it would, first and foremost, prove once again that they have the ability to get back after time. Think about the fact they won their first one in 2009, early in Crosby and Malkin's career. Then it took 7 years for them to get back in 2016 and 2017. 7 years, and they were able to bounce back, become that juggernaut team that we saw in 2016 and 17, the first back-to-back champions since the Red Wings back in the late 90s. But not only that, a Stanley Cup this season would be 6 years since. So we're almost as far away from the 16 and 17 championships as they were from the 2009 championship. It's kind of crazy to think. So it would show that it doesn't matter if they have 4 straight first round losses. Even at the age of 36, 37, 38, they're able to get back there because they're just that good. Also, you would pass the Blackhawks 4-3. You would pass the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3. And even with that, the Tampa Bay Lightning did it with 2 different cores. They did it in the early 2000s with Vinny LeCavalier, with Marty St. Louis. Dwayne Rollison, was that their goaltender at that point? I think it was.
I don't remember.
But then, of course, the 2020 version with Stamkos, Kucherov, Vasilevsky. So, but you would be past the Lightning despite them doing it with 2 different cores. And the Penguins doing it with 1.
Nikolai Khabibulin, by the way.
Nikolai Khabibulin. Rollison was on the Oilers that year, who they faced. That's right. But also, there's a couple other important distinctions if they're able to do that. They double up the 90s Penguins, 4-2, and they had way less Hall of Famers. Like, they didn't have Ron Francis to be their third best player. Like, say what you will about Phil Kessel. He's not Ron Francis. Okay? That's not it.
No.
They don't have a Kevin Stevens who's out there being the best power forward in hockey. Like, Jake Gensel is great, but I don't think Jake Gensel is Hall of Fame. Kevin Stevens isn't Hall of Fame yet. Kevin Stevens has a much better case than Jake Gensel, in my opinion. So that's the other thing. And the last thing I'll say, at that point, they would have done it with 3 different goaltenders: Fleury, Murray, and Jarry. I don't know why they all end with a Y, but either way, that would be the winning success method for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think if they won that 4th Stanley Cup, to me, it would make them the undoubted top team of the 21st century thus far.
It would have to, by sheer fact of cup wins. It would have to for statistics. It would have to for longevity, because again, that playoff streak is still intact at 16 years, and that's not going anywhere. I would assume it goes to 17 this year. It would have to, with the way Crosby and Malkin put up numbers throughout their entire career. Crosby's yet to have a year under a point per game.
Yep.
Malkin's only done it like 2 or 3 times, I think. Those numbers are ridiculous. They're coming close on being the trio with the most games played together, are they not?
They are definitely climbing that leaderboard, and they're already pretty high on it.